Well, just before that, this year's ministerial meeting of the ASEAN nations was held in Laos. And that nation has the tragic distinction of being the most heavily bombed country in history. Countless cluster munitions and mines were left following the devastating war in neighbouring Vietnam. The Laotian official overseeing the demining operation says unexploded American weapons continue to terrorise locals, especially children.
The people who live in the village are scared of living. In their every activity, even inside their home or when they go outside to hunt or to farm, they have no idea which area is safe. They have to survive each day.
In Laos, the scars of the Vietnam War still linger in the shape of unexploded bombs that pose a threat to farmers and rural communities. Despite being just a small country in Southeast Asia, it is known to this day as the most heavily bombed country in the world's history. And there are those who still suffer from the American bombing campaign of the last century. Children. Bright and dazzling, the unexploded ordnance looks more like toys rather than lethal weapons.
The bombs look like toy balls. They're shiny with fancy colors. The children do not have any idea what they are and play with them. That's why 60% of the victims are children.
Being at the National Training Center in Vientiane, I am faced with poignant reminders of Laos' turbulent past. These exhibits showcase the devastating legacy of American bombing campaigns during the Vietnam War, a trail of unexploded ordeals. The war ended nearly 5 decades ago, yet Laos continues to deal with how it has affected daily lives up until today.
270 million of cluster munitions were dropped on Laos between 1964 to 1973. That was called a secret war by the United States, as it was never at war with the country officially. What's not a secret is that Washington spent $17 million per day to drop the bombs, and only $61 million in total to help the country cope with the legacy they left.
It also affects the economy, because so many locations in Laos are contaminated with unexploded bombs and lands have yet to be cleared. So when it comes to improving the infrastructure in Laos, this requires clearance by the demining program. Laos is taking longer than other countries to ensure that the land is safe for development.
Cleanup efforts are underway, but it is hard to do it on their own, and it welcomes all hands to help the country create a safe place for the people to live in. Russia contributed to it with separate teams putting their lives at risk to wipe out these deadly remains in regions such as Poli Kamsai, Sieng Khouang, and Kham Muon. Laos National Regulatory Authority noted that more than 1 million explosive objects were neutralized by the Russian sappers, saving the lives of many more Laotians around the area. What's more, Russia is the only foreign country that regularly sends personnel to dig into Laos ground.
I would like to note that quite recently, at the end of March, the 6th phase of humanitarian demining work was completed by the detachment of the International Mine Action Center of the Armed Forces of the Russian Federation. And it must be said that Russian sappers are not only helping to clear the country's territory of unexploded ordnance, but are also helping to conduct training for Laotian servicemen and are also providing special demining equipment free of charge.
A path that Russia will continue to follow in the future. The same message is also delivered by the Lao People's Army. It is undeniable that the joint efforts have reached significant results, not only for the villagers, but also the Lao sappers. This will strengthen Lao contacts with Russia in humanitarian demining throughout the country.
In parallel, training for sappers of the Lao People's Army has been conducted to improve their knowledge and skills in solving demining tasks. As a result of the joint work, favorable conditions have been created for further clearance of contaminated territory, and the safety of the population's daily life has been ensured, which contributes to the socio-economic development of the Republic.
Laos is one of the most impacted countries by the Vietnam War to this day. These demining efforts are crucial because until all land is cleared, these bombs dropped by America will continue to endanger lives, and put at risk the future of the Lao people.